this is an artificial neural network, but this is not a neuron. It is one of the biggest misconceptions that is present on the internet today regarding ANNs. If you go to Google and search artificial neural network, you will find almost every image showing the neural networks in this misleading way, where the input layer is shown as circles. This can lead to an incorrect understanding of the neural networks, especially for the beginners, because the input layer circles look the same as the hidden layer and output layer circles, and they are even called input neurons. So anyone looking at these diagrams will assume that the input layer also contains neurons, but this is not true. The input layer is just a placeholder that passes the input data to the first hidden layer. The input layer circles do not perform any calculation because they don't contain any transfer function or activation function that is present inside a neuron. Ideally, this diagram should be represented like this. You can use any shape apart from circle to distinguish that these are not neurons. It becomes very clear when you actually write the code for ANN. In this code, for example, there is no line where you are creating any input layer. You just start by defining the first hidden layer and mention how many values this layer is going to get from the input layer based on the number of predictors in the data. Now let us understand this a bit in depth using an example. So in this scenario, we are trying to predict the price of a second-hand car based on its age in months, the number of kilometers it ran, and whether it has a metallic color or not. These are my predictors and this is my target variable price. So to learn this data, I am creating a regression ANN model with 2 hidden layers containing 5 neurons each and the output layer with 1 neuron. 1 neuron because we are doing regression. If you create a diagram for this neural network, it will look like this. Notice that I am representing the input layer as rectangles to show that these are just placeholders. When the data is given to this neural network to train, it passes every row of data through the network one by one. Taking the first row as an example, how will it pass through the network? Since I have 3 predictors, age, kilometer, and metallic color, there are 3 input placeholders shown in the diagram. These will hold the values of age, kilometer, and metallic color when each of these rows are passing through the network one by one. These values will be passed to the first hidden layer without any modification. Once these values reach the first hidden layer of neurons, then the weights are multiplied by the values and bias is added inside the neurons using the transfer function. And then the output is passed to the activation function. All of this happens within these hidden layer and output layer circles that you see on screen. This process is repeated for all the neurons present in the network till we get an output from the output neuron. This is also known as forward propagation. This output is compared with the original value and the error is computed, and based on this error, the backward propagation happens where the weights are adjusted. The same procedure is repeated for all the rows. So I hope this is clear now and you will not make the mistake of representing the input layer placeholders with circles because they are not neurons and circle shape is typically used for neurons. Now if you want to learn more about neural networks, please check the links of other videos that I have given in the description, starting with the basics of how neuron works to the minute details of artificial neural networks with practical insights from the IT industry. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please like it and spread the knowledge by sharing it with your friends. This is Farooq Hashmi from thinkingneuron.com.